What's going on, everybody? Let's turn off the camera, actually. There we go. That's why the avatar wasn't working. I'm a clown. How's everybody doing today? We got 4 people in here. We got all Chiefs fans, I would assume. Just want to give my thoughts on the game just really quick. Pretty wild game. Coming off of that game against the Bills, I really expected, man, I don't know, the Chiefs game plan. I didn't really like. I'm actually really surprised by the Chiefs game plan. I thought it was going to go much, much better. I thought that the Bucks played off all night on the outsides, and I don't understand why the Chiefs weren't trying to take advantage of that. I really don't. And Tampa Bay's, the refs were tough. The refs had a couple of bad calls. That was bad, man. That was bad. The refs had some bad calls. I'm definitely not going to sit here and go to bat for the Stripes. I've never been a fan of the refs, so no argument for me with that. But honestly, man, I thought that I have some issues with the Chiefs game plan. I really do. As much of an Andy Reid and Bieniemy fan I am, it was. The Bucks were just giving up some stuff. Like, legitimately, if you look, and I'm gonna make a video here. I just want to go live for like 30 minutes, see if anybody wanted to roll through and ask some questions on the game. But if you watch that game, like the Chiefs were lining, obviously they line up and they were going, 10, 11 personnel. And the corners for the Bucks on the outsides were playing like 8, 9 yards off. What's up, Mitchie? How you doing? Mitch Boy Gaming, my guy. They were playing 8, 9 yards off. And, tackles killed you, James. I completely agree. I'm talking about this. I got to learn how to use this stuff better. I'm going to try and do some more live stuff in the future. But, dude, so basically this is what I'm saying. If we watch this game, and I'm going to go through this, but the Chiefs on the outside, right, you have 8, 9 yards to work with because of where the Bucks corners were lining up. And you have to take advantage of that. You have to be throwing speed outs. You have to be throwing curls. And basically the Bucks were lining up. They were running cover 3, and they were like, if you're going to beat us, you're going to have to dink and dunk. You're going to have to get your quick game going down the field. And I don't understand why the Chiefs didn't do that. I really, really don't. And James, you said the tackles kills. Dude, the Chiefs offensive line was horrendous tonight. Obviously, they're seriously injured up front, which played a major factor. So it was a tough one, but Kansas City fans, man, like, honestly, I know it's fresh right now, and I know that it's tough to sit there and be like, yeah, but dude, the Chiefs are going to be just fine. I mean, the Chiefs locked up every guy they needed to. I don't know the exact guys who are going to be free agents in the upcoming. I think Sammy's a free agent, but dude, I think Tyreek might be coming up on his contract. I'm not 100% sure, but Kelsey's locked up. Mahomes is locked up. Chris Jones is locked up. Like, the Chiefs are going to be just fine. Chiefs are going to be just fine. So it's definitely tough, but let's see here. I'll answer some. If you guys have questions in the chat, throw them in there, man, because I'm just kind of hanging out right now, waiting for Game Pass to upload the video. So I'm just hanging out, wanting to answer some questions if people had them. Stefan, we got destroyed and made 0 adjustments. Andy really disappointed. Dude, I agree. I completely agree with you, Stefan. Like, that was my biggest surprise from this game, is that I really thought that the Chiefs are going to make halftime adjustments, because the Buccaneers game plan was very clear from the beginning, right? They tried to throw the ball in that first drive. They tried to get Tommy going a little bit. Doesn't work, which is kind of what I thought. I was like, all right, I think they're going to try and air it out a little bit, get Tommy comfortable. It didn't work. Okay. Next drive, they go straight to their inside zone, straight to their duo, and really just hammer the rock downfield. And I am very surprised that the Chiefs didn't they tried to make an adjustment. They tried to play more in their base. They tried to go more, in that traditional 4-3 stuff. And the Bucks basically from there just went to their play action game, and backers stepped up to the line of scrimmage because they have to, and they were able to throw the football over the top. And, they really put Kansas City in a pickle. Hats off to the Buccaneers coaching staff. They had a very good game plan, and I seriously underestimated that going into this one. I thought the Chiefs were going to have something dialed up. Like, honestly, it looked to me like plan A wasn't working and they didn't have a plan B. It was really, really interesting to me to see. Yeah, I know you guys are going to be bummed out about the officiating. I hate referees in general. I don't care what game, if it's the Super Bowl or preseason, I hate referees. So, but I hate blaming the game all on one thing. But yeah, I'm not going to sit here and lie. There were some calls that did not go Kansas City's way. Future is still bright. Yeah, absolutely, Stefan. Future is very much so still bright. Coaching. This was a game that Andy Reid and Bieniemy and really Spagnuolo, they got out coached. I feel like, O-line was outclassed, not their fault. Chiefs will be fine. Absolutely. Disappointed that Tampa Bay secondary got away with holding early. Yeah. I mean, it's the weird thing with refs, right? It's like, you don't mind if they're calling it as long as they're calling it both ways. And again, I don't want to turn it into a, complaint fest about the refs, but, I understand the gripes that people are having. Absolutely. So let's see what we got. No complaining about the refs is pointless. Yeah, no, I know, man. I know. Couching. Yeah, couch coaches, baby. No, coaching, I'm assuming is what you mean there, Nick. Yeah, coaching was 100%. 100% a big part of this one, man. 100%. Oh, there you go. You corrected it later. All right, Carl, let's see what we got. Please dispel the notion some of my fellow Chiefs fans have that the referees were deciding factor in KC losing this game. Yeah, I agree, man. Carl, that's an absolutely outstanding point. When it comes to the fundamentals of this thing, right, the guys who, and I always tie it back into coaching, right? And the guys that you believe in, okay, the guys who are your starters, the guys who are your front five. The Chiefs were out 4 of their 5 starters, I believe, on the offensive line. It's really tough to win when you have 4 out of your 5 dudes gone. But fundamentals were a big thing. Their tackles just got worked by the Buccaneers. Defensive ends. So, Charles, I feel like you're fired up right now, man. Don't blame the Chiefs. You're sitting here and putting all the blame on the Chiefs. Is the officials hand down called Brady rule and they were going away with anything? Yeah, I mean, everybody's fired up right now. I understand that. But I'm just trying to give you guys my perspective on it. Chiefs didn't show up. Would have rather lost by 1, but it'll be a good wake-up call. I was talking, I was over one of my friend's house who diehard Chiefs fan, and he was really, really bummed out. And he was like, dude, this hurts. And I'm like, dude, I get it. But this is, it's really interesting what losing can do to somebody. I got a police siren going off in the background. Sorry about that. Really interesting what losing can do to somebody. And if Mahomes is the competitor that everybody thinks he is and that I think he is, I think that this is going to absolutely light a fire under him. And we'll see that come next year. Let's see what we got here. Apocalypse, like the name. I guess we need to go out and draft 6'3" guys because apparently you can't put your hands on them even if they're just feeling. Dude, some of the calls were really bad. Some of the calls were absolutely horrible. Absolutely, I have no problem saying that. Like I said, I hate refs in general. So, didn't see us doing any kind of jet sweeps. Yeah, well, this is what I'm saying. Like they did not go into their quick game at all, and that was really, really surprising to me. To me, the adjustment to make coming into the coming into the second half or end of the first half, the adjustment you need to make in order to put a drive together is we got to get our quick game going. And I'm waiting for the Game Pass to get uploaded so I can hit some of this film for you guys. But I just wanted to hop on and talk about it. But dude, like the Bucs were playing 8-9 yards off all night. Like you have to take advantage of the outsides. You have to. Like you have Tyreek Hill one-on-one with a big corner. Like I'm going to take that matchup every time, and the linebackers for the Bucs played outstanding tonight. Levante David and Devin White. And I kind of, had a feeling about it. I was going through and I was making the videos and you could tell that the last time the Bucs played the Chiefs that it was almost like they weren't all the way tuned up. It was just really interesting. And then tonight, Levante David was all over Kelsey, and so was Devin White. Like those two guys had them locked down. And it was weird because a lot of things that 87 was usually doing that would create separation weren't exactly there tonight. So very, very interesting. So let's see what else we got here. Devin99 in the building. What's up, Dev? Hope you're doing well, brother. Levante David is better than Bobby Wagner all the time. People don't want to admit it. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the comparison game. Levante David is an absolute freak of nature when it comes to playing linebacker. Just a stud all around, and he definitely showed that tonight. I don't know what his contract situation looks like, but if he's a free agent, boy's about to get paid. So Oregon fishing. went to college up in Oregon. Patrick being hobbled kept him from getting away like he was able to do earlier this season. A couple of drops. Yeah, there were some bad drops early. Completely agree. And I think that Mahomes is, I think his foot is jacked, by the way. I think that'll come out in the next couple of days. Let's see. Only happiness I can reach for is that JPP and Levante David played at Fort Scott, Kansas. Oh, very cool. Very cool. Well, good for those guys, man. Pro football is funny because it's like, I had the fan mentality for a long time in football, and then I started coaching in college, and that really took that away, and it really became, it's weird, but it's like your job, but obviously you still want to win, but there's guys on the other team that you're, happy to see do well. And, Apocalypse, Paul, completely agree with you, man. You got to find the reasons that make you happy. I'm sure that there's some Buccaneers fans out there who are, super excited about this. So Jackson Crew, he's a huge Bucs fan. He's super excited, but I'm here to talk, Chiefs. If you guys have questions, I'm here to answer them. Does anybody know if Le'Veon Bell got hurt? Dude, yeah, where was Le'Veon Bell? Carl, completely agree with you. Where the hell was 26 tonight? He didn't even get a snap. I don't know. That was weird. I didn't even think about that until now. James, I agree. Needed more sweeps, I think. Yeah, trying to take advantage of that defense on the edges probably would have been a good call. Don't worry, we'll be back. New corners, healthy Mahomes, renewed O-line. Yeah, I mean, really, when you sit there and look at the end of this season for the Chiefs, there were some glaring holes because of injury. 4 out of 5 O-line guys out. Eric Fisher, I think, was really the last, the straw that breaks the camel's back, so to say, because that's a big time injury to lose, or a big time guy to lose, big time injury to have. So, dude, I saw this Warren Sapp with Bert and Tom. I love Tom Segura, man. Maybe change from. I kind of hope the Bucs win to F the Chiefs real quick. Interesting. I want to see that. I don't know about the fandom part of it, but I did see that the other day on Tom Segura's Instagram. I love that guy. Feel bad for Mahomes and Clyde. They were the only two who looked like, dude, Pat put his heart and soul on the field tonight. Very cool to see. Obviously not from, the perspective of that he lost, but just, you really saw Pat giving it his absolute all tonight. And that was positive to see. So, and Clyde looked great too. I wish they would have had an opportunity to really give him the football more. They really didn't have that chance. So, and admire the throw. Dude, Pat had some insane throws that were drops. Like he had a throw to Tyreek. That was a drop in the first, which that could have made the game very different. He had 2 4th down conversions that were dropped. Very interesting. Yeah, the throw that hit Darrell Williams in the face mask. I completely agree. That was a absolute dime that Darrell Williams dropped. So it was tough. If he completed that throw on 4th down, it would have been one of the crazy. Yeah, I mean, Pat does Pat. You're never going to be able to. Tonight was the only night that we've really seen Patrick Mahomes limited, and I take with a grain of salt because 4 out of 5 offensive linemen were injured. And I'm telling you guys, I think his foot is way more jacked up than people know. I don't want to make excuses, I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be that guy who's, making excuses for poor play. I don't, but it's just a combination of things. I think it was coaching. I think it was injuries. I think it was, not making adjustments. It was a weird, a very, very uncharacteristic night for Kansas City. Very uncharacteristic night for Kansas City. Yeah, that would have been insane. Dude, that throw that he had to like the back corner of the end zone, that I think it was to Pringle, he like dropped, or it was out of the end zone, but that was an insane sequence of events. So going into this game, I had the opinion Mahomes had to win this game for his legacy. He may never have a chance to match Brady. And this is the thing, dude. There's Tom Brady, and people might hate me for this. There's Tom Brady, and then there's everybody else. Tom Brady is a different animal. I think, but this is the thing though, like everything came together for Brady to get to where he is. And I wouldn't like Mahomes. It's not really in a weird way. It's not really about legacy. Legacy is cool and it's great to talk about on ESPN. It's great to talk about on these, sports shows. But at the end of the day, Patrick Mahomes is insanely talented. He's got a great offensive coordinator. He's got a great head coach. They're going to like the Chiefs are going to be back in this thing in next year. It's very possible the Chiefs go and make a run next year again. So what else we got? We got a couple comments rolling in, lots of throws. Yeah, like 3 or 4 hit players literally in the face mask. It was kind of hysterical. Didn't use Hardman, Sammy for, they did not get their quick game going. I do not understand it. I really don't. They didn't do it in the first half, and I was like, all right, maybe they're saving it. Maybe they're saving it for the second half. Like, you have things coaching wise that you put in your back pocket, and keep, put in your back pocket that you want to wait to the second half so that you can make those adjustments, but they didn't. They never got their quick game going. Super weird. So let's see. Hate to bring this up. How long can Brady keep this Buck show going? New England 2.0 is going to be the new media talking point 24/7. Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, Brady didn't look like he was 43 tonight, which for me as a Patriots fan, I'm like, damn it, retire already. I don't want to see this. But at the same time, I love Tommy and I like seeing him do well. I know that most of you guys don't want to hear that right now, not trying to rub salt, but dude, who knows how long he can keep this thing going? Who knows? Because the Bucks looked solid. They gave him protection. He didn't look like he was slowing down. The media is just going to sit there and stroke off Tampa, which I personally can't stand because they hated Tom Brady, 3-4 years ago. And then all of a sudden they want to love him up. So I don't know, man. We'll see. I could easily see him playing to, let's see, he's 43. He's got one more year on his Tampa deal. Maybe he signs an extension for another 2. So 4 more years. Brady playing at 47 is ridiculous. He's not playing 4 more years. I don't know. I can't willingly admit that. Maybe 45, maybe 46. I don't know. Jay Frey. We really didn't look like ourselves all night. Can't believe that is entirely due to the O-line play, though. I really think that the O-line play had a lot. I really, really do think that the O-line play had a lot to do with it. When you go into, think about it this way, and this is the way that I always think about things with depth on the offensive line. When you go to travel, okay, you bring 7 to 8 offensive linemen, okay? So you have your starting 5, and then you really should only bring 7 if you're confident. And then you have 2 guys that you can swing. The Chiefs were out 4 out of 5 offensive linemen tonight. That is a ton of dudes to be out. That's a lot. That is a lot. So fire away questions, guys. I'm just here kind of hanging out. I was going to try and make a video really quick, and then I was like, you know what? Let me go live. I never go live. Let's see what these guys have to say. So let's see what we got here. O-line needs a major overhaul. They really need to address that, or Pat will suffer, draft some young guys. Well, they drafted a dude from TCU last year who was, getting touted as a pretty good offensive lineman. I liked him. I can't remember his name, but I liked him. He's not bad. I don't think a major overhaul is needed depending on contract stuff. Mitchell Schwartz is a stud. Eric Fisher has played very well for you guys. So, and then the guard was out this year too. I can't remember his name. But he was out as well. So, dude, it's a lot to be out 4 out of 5 offensive linemen, man. A lot. Agree 100%, but we didn't seem to even be calling plays that we liked all season. It was a very, very uncharacteristic game for the Kansas City Chiefs tonight. Very, very uncharacteristic. Very weird. Very, very weird. They didn't take advantage of things that I was seeing, which, I'm by no means a pro football coach, so if I can see stuff, they can see it too. Even with solid tackles, we should seriously debate drafting tackles with a guard flex high this year. Yeah, I mean, for me personally, draft wise, I'm never going to shy away from drafting offensive linemen. I'm always going to think it's a good idea. There's never been a problem with having too many good offensive linemen. Right? There's never been a team that you looked at and go, damn, the problem there was they had 7 great offensive linemen. Never going to be like that. Hang on one sec. I got a cough. Hang on. Not COVID. Promise. Not COVID. All right, probably too early to know, but who would you want to see the Chiefs pick up to clean up their O-line? Chris, great question. Honestly, I don't know because I don't know who's out there. Once I see who's out there, I'll definitely love to talk to you guys about it, but I don't know who's out there. Thunder Dude, what about the refs? I talked about this too. The refs definitely, I hate saying, let me put it this way to you guys, okay? When I was coaching, college or high school, whatever, it didn't matter. As a coach, you're never going to be like, the refs lost us that game. You're never going to say that. And I would imagine that dudes in the league think the same way. You're never going to say that, yeah, that was the refs' fault. There were things that the Chiefs could have done better, really. And really that's the way, why point the finger at somebody else when you can talk about yourself, talk about the mistakes that you made, and talk about how you can how you can be better next time, and I really think that the Chiefs left some stuff out there. Like I said, their quick game, I do not understand why they weren't going with their quick game. Kelechi Osemele, he's the one guy. Who's the doctor, though? They have a doctor that played Duvernay. Is it Duvernay? I can't remember, man. I'm going to butcher that guy's name. I'm sorry. But like, honestly, if Kelechi Osemele's in, it's a different game. Like, honestly. Luke G, what's up, dog? Good to see you. Good to see you. Luke, yeah, definitely. I'll shoot you a link. My bad, man. I just saw you. Yeah, Duvernay Tardif, not 100% sure. Sorry about that. I'm going to add Luke G here 1 second, guys. Hang on. Throw in some questions for me, guys. I'm happy to talk you guys through this stuff. Going to add Luke. He always gives some great perspective. Luke G, I just sent it over to you, big dog. Let's see what else. Yeah, look, I don't even know how to pronounce that. LDT. Someone called him that. James, you call him LDT, I think. Let's see what else we got. NFL is rigged. I love the NFL is rigged stuff, man. I love the conspiracy theories. I'm always for it. AB hate is getting on my nerves. Yes, he's behaved horribly, but he's also exhibiting classic symptoms of traumatic brain injury from the perfect hit. Thanks for the videos. Hey, big dog, I appreciate you watching the videos. It's interesting. A lot of NFL guys, they do some things that get really weird that you're like, why are you doing? Like they'll pop off, they'll do things that aren't natural. So it definitely, I hope that he's doing better. Like I don't ever wish anybody to feel horrible. So I hope that he's doing better. Not the Chiefs fans calling it weird. I don't know what we're getting at there. Sasuke? Not 100% sure. Jay Frey, it's not much that we solely blame the refs. It's just frustrating that. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And for you guys who have played, football or played in any sport, really, like there's always a time where you're playing a game, right? You're in and you're playing and like it's just a bad roll. It's not going your way. What the hell is going on here? And then you start getting penalties on top of it. You get into a rut really, really quick. Carl, can we talk about Gronk? Dude, Gronk looked good tonight, man. Gronk looked good. I was happy to see Gronk do well. I know you guys don't want to talk about that, but I love Gronk. So this game was on Reed. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know what was up with that tonight. I have some serious questions. But there was PI and holding calls that the refs missed for the Chiefs. Absolutely, man. And look, dude, I'm not gonna come to the refs' defense at all. I've played football for 10 plus years. I've coached for 5+ years. I hate referees in general, and I'm never gonna come to their defense. But again, like as a coach or as a player, you're never gonna sit there and like you'll never see a Chiefs guy be like, oh, it was 100% the refs' fault. Although Frank Clark's a loose cannon, he might do that. All right, here we go. Luke G's coming in. Keep throwing in your questions, folks. Luke, what's up, brother?
Man, what's going on, Cam? You all right?
Oh, dude, I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. Just wanted to hop on. I was sitting there. I was going to make a video really quick, and I'm sitting here, and I'm like, I'll just hop on live. I never go live, man.
Dude, I was trying to figure out the same thing, like if I should do a video or not.
Yeah.
And then I saw you went live, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. Let me see if he'll let me jump in.
Yeah.
At first I was going to just be cool. And then I started seeing the fans talk about the refs, and I'm like, we're not doing this.
We got some upset guys in here about the refs. I don't want to rub the salt in. I don't want to rub the salt in right now.
But it's no reason to rub no salt in.
No. Give me your opinion. I do want to hear your opinion on this.
This is how I saw it. I asked myself anytime I see the referee call a play, I ask myself, did it or did it not happen?
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if it's ticky-tacky. I don't care if you don't like that they called it or whatever the case may be. The problem is most of the stuff that they were calling was right. I don't understand why Kansas City cornerbacks were grabbing so much.
Yeah, they were. It looked like a couple of them. Let me put it this way: like if you read the rule book and then looked up and saw what was going on in the play, you'd be like, okay, yeah, that's a penalty. Was it? I felt like it was a little ticky-tacky. And again, you kind of get into like the how are the refs going to call things in the playoffs sort of deal. Like you kind of expect them to put the flags away. They didn't do that today, which I mean, obviously, like I'm sure you're the same way. Like when you're playing and like every 5 seconds you got a penalty, you're like, what the hell is going on? Can we just play football, please? But they were calling it today. And like I said, I'm not gonna sit here and come to the defense of the refs because like I said, I do not like officials. Never have, never will. But
you and me are in agreement with
exactly.
that.
Yeah, but like I said, I'm not going to sit here and put the entire blame of the game on the refs. No, like the Chiefs missed chances, and I think every level-headed fan in here is going to agree with you. I'm going to keep clicking on chats to see if there's questions, but go ahead, take it away.
For sure. I think the biggest issue is like I said, I'm not a fan of the refs myself, but when I watch this game, I'm like, they're getting it right. They are grabbing, they are holding, they are pulling.
Mm-hmm.
And the issue that I had is why is Kansas City not running the ball?
100%. Why aren't they running the rock? Why aren't they going to their quick game? I thought the exact same thing.
I'm trying to see. I'm sitting here watching the game, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, at some point they're gonna unleash this running back tandem that they have. They're gonna do it. At some point they're gonna do it. And I'm sitting up here, and then they come out in the half and they run the ball, and I'm like, you could have been doing that from the first quarter.
Yeah.
But like always, they're trying to make Patrick Mahomes the MVP.
Yeah.
And what I saw was them basically. I said, y'all gonna lose this game because y'all are refusing to run the ball.
Yeah.
And on top of that, I know people are going to say they had drop passes. Bucks had drop passes. But there are certain things that I look at and I say, you can't blame the ref when you're offsides. That's your fault. You can't
completely agree. Completely
agree. And I hate to say this because this is one of the things that I brought up with the DSA members.
Mm-hmm.
I said to them, it's funny to me how everybody wants me to believe that Andy Reid is not calling the plays, but Eric Bieniemy is. Well, if you want me to believe that, then I'm glad that the Lions didn't hire this dude because he forgot to run the ball.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. And like, I'm sure that you saw the same thing that I did. Like Bucks corners are playing 9 yards off. You have to like run a speed out with Tyreek Hill at 8 yards and hammer that out. Like if their corners are going to play that far off and then drop into 3, which is what I was seeing, why aren't we taking advantage of the outsides?
Right.
Why aren't we running the football to keep them honest inside? To me, it looked like, and let me see if you agree with this. To me, it looked like the Chiefs looked at the backers for the Bucks, Devin White and Levante David, and they were like, they're going to lock up the middle of the field if we try and run the football. But they didn't have anything outside of their drop back game. Like to me, it was like, we're going to try and stretch the field and they're not going to be able to run with us. And it's like, all right, well, if they drop into cover 3, then you don't have anywhere to go. You have to have a backup plan. And there was never a backup plan, in my opinion.
And the worst part about it is, I think before we even got to the point of them talking about the linebackers, I think they bought into the hype that the Buccaneers were number 1 against the run.
Yeah.
I'm a Lions fan. I do Lions YouTube. But I have been very open that I like 3 teams in the NFL.
Yeah.
They happen to all be in the NFC, Seahawks, Bucks, and Lions.
Yep.
The Buccaneers weren't that good against the run.
Yeah. Yeah.
even when you go back to Kansas City. Now here go the funny thing. I won a lot of money for people today because they took my bets. I told them that the loser, i.e. Kansas City, would not score 20 points. And they was like, boy, you crazy.
Dude, I would have said you're crazy. Dude, I'm telling you, I went into this game being like the Chiefs are going to be able to put up points just based off of how the Bucks played them last time. I was like, the Bucks are going to try and run 3, and then they're going to go into their man, and they're not going to be able to keep up with the Chiefs receivers. I completely underestimated Todd Bowles and this Bucks coaching staff. That is on me. The Bucks had a excellent game plan today. Excellent.
See, the thing that I looked at, was in that first matchup that they had, when the Bucks started getting traction, they ran the ball.
Yeah.
And Kansas City stopped. So then I said, okay, let me go and look at Kansas City loss. Well, they lost to the Raiders. The Raiders ran the ball. And I said, okay.
Yeah.
So I said they're going to come out and run this ball, and it's going to be a lot of discern there, and they're going to try to come up to stop the run, and now it's going to be a whole lot of tight end play, which is what the Kansas City Chiefs should have did. Don't know what happened, but they didn't. And I told my friend, I said, hey, because I don't like betting. I said, listen, if I was you, I would bet that Kansas City don't score over 20 points. He said, I'm not taking that bet. That's stupid.
Dude, I would just take that bet.
I told him, I said, listen, I'm just telling you that it's not going to happen based on what I've looked at in the film. And he goes, well, we'll see when the day comes. He sends me a message and says he would have won a couple thousand had he took that bet. I say, I told you they wasn't scoring 20. And I said, the problem was I knew they were going to come out with trying to throw the ball. They didn't have to do that. They could have ran it on the Bucs the entire time.
I agree. It was really weird because it seemed to me like the Chiefs. I completely agree. It seemed like they bought into the hype. They were like, we're not going to be able to run against Vita Vea, Nottingham Suh, Devin White, Levante David. Those guys are going to be, and obviously Jason Pierre-Paul. The whole group of them are going to be able to shut them down. But like Clyde Edwards had like nine rushes for like 70+ yards. Like he played well. He played well, and the Chiefs just look. Honestly, Luke, I think the Chiefs got out coached tonight, 100%.
And this is what I thought. This is what I thought was going to happen. I thought they would get out coached. I thought that not only would they get out coached, I thought they would get outplayed by the Bucs. And the reason I thought that had nothing to do with Tom Brady.
Yeah.
If you look at Tom Brady's stats, he was 21 to 29 for like 200 some yards, right?
Yeah.
Okay. He was asked to manage the game. If
100%.
you look at if you was looking at what the Bucs did, they said you got to stop our run.
Yeah.
And then on defense, I'm just gonna tell you right now, on defense, we can give credit to Ty Bowles, which I will.
Yeah.
But on defense, what I looked at was on downs, and if people pay attention to this, on downs where Ndamukong Suh was in, that's where they called most of their stunts and weird blitzes.
Oh, dude, they did a great job running their twists and pressures tonight.
And the worst part about it was this. They were so concerned with putting two people on Ndamukong Suh that they was freeing up everybody else.
Yeah.
And like I said, the biggest thing that I saw, like I know somebody said the one penalty that set up their first touchdown, their second touchdown. They said, that's a bad call. And I said, listen, ask yourself the question on the drive before the Bucs got the ball back right there.
Yeah.
How many times did they call a run play in that drive? Right now, take away that. How many times did they call a quick pass, a short screen, or anything like that? Any reverse or anything? They never caught them over pursuing.
Never.
And they wasn't even blitzing.
Yeah.
Which brings me to my one point that's going to piss off a lot of people, and I'm not apologetic about it.
There we go.
Patrick Mahomes played like ass.
Yeah, I would have a little bit of pushback on that because I don't really think that he had a chance. Like to be honest, like their offensive line was getting trashed. They're out 4 to 5 offensive line starters.
True. But let me ask you this: if that was Mitchell Trubisky in that same situation, and that happened,
I don't think the Chiefs score a point tonight if it was Mitchell Trubisky.
They would have got their same field goals. Don't get me wrong, but if that was Mitchell Trubisky. The fans would have said that he played like crap. And one of my issues with what I saw out of Mahomes was he didn't know how to handle the pressure.
Yeah. Well, I would disagree. I don't think it was pressure. I don't know, man. I don't think it was pressure. I might be having a little bias because I'm a big Mahomes guy. I'll definitely go back and obviously I'm gonna go back and take a look at it.
Go back and look at each time that the Bucs got near him. How he was trying to scramble to extend the play.
Dude, yeah, he got himself into a little bit of trouble.
And then he would run backwards and he would throw these erratic passes. And I'm like, just throw the fucking ball away. That's the only answer.
Well, at that point, at the time that he was scrambling and he was trying to create plays, they were already down double digits. And I understand him trying to make something happen. But I agree with you. Like from a coaching perspective, bro, like when I was coaching in college, we had a Q who would he would do shit like that where he'd scramble around, and every single time I was like, hey, bud, throw the ball away and we'll live to fight another down. And so, yeah, I get what you're saying with that. Yeah, I would hesitate to say that he played like ass quite yet. I would need to dive in. But please go ahead. By all. But
I'm saying when you dive into the film though, Cam, when you dive into it, look at down and distance, right?
Yeah.
There was a few plays. I'm not even lying. There was a few plays where he did a good job escaping it, and then he threw the ball low. On one of those plays, it was to Travis Kelce.
Yeah,
I want to say it was in the third quarter. Kelce went left to get open. He threw the ball low to Kelce. Kelce had to go down and get it, and the defender dove and knocked it away. He was throwing them kind of passes a few times. Then there was a few times where obviously people dropped passes. I'm not knocking that. I'm just saying as the game went on, you started seeing him looking around. And there was times in the game where he had time and he was looking real antsy, in my opinion.
Yeah, but I wouldn't put that on Pat. Like, to me, like, and this is honestly, this is like the first time Luke and I have disagreed on something, which is historic.
This is true. This is true.
This is true. And guys, I know some people are bummed in the comments right now. It's you guys, emotions are high. Super Bowl losses suck. I've been there before. It sucks. But this is the only thing I want to come back to, Luke. To me, like, coaching wise, as good as Mahomes is, he's still young. Right. And you go into the half, you need to take him to the side and you need to go, hey, look, like, honestly, Bieniemy, Andy Reid, they both need to sit down with them and they go, look, okay, the stuff that we want to run isn't there. They're covering up the middle of the field. They're taking away our deep game. We have to go somewhere else. Corners are playing 9 yards off. Okay. We're going to have choice routes on everything we run. And if that corner's leverage is off, we're going to hammer outs at 8-9 yards pop. Like, offensively, when you look at what they were calling, they weren't exactly giving him the opportunity to do that. So I agree with you. Maybe he is looking antsy in the pocket, but at the same time, like, maybe he's looking antsy because the shit that they're calling isn't working. And to me, that relates back to the coaching,
True. But I just look at it and I say, let's flip it. If it's any other quarterback besides Patrick Mahomes, we're calling it, we're saying that he played bad. I mean, and the first thing that most fans are going to do is say, well, he makes this amount of money. Well, this guy makes almost $500 million.
Yeah. I mean, so what's actually really funny about this, Luke, is that you're looking at from you look at this game from a super Detroit perspective, where you're like, if Stafford did that, our fans would want him. Our fans would want him in the middle of the city, and we're gonna have a little powwow. Chiefs fans are looking at it like, wait a second, that is our savior you're talking about. Do not. Which is really funny to me. But no, I get what you're saying. Hey, I got a cough really quick. I don't know what's going on with me.
Go ahead. No, I mean, listen. I know people ain't gonna like what I'm saying. I know people want to make all these different excuses. I get all that. Before the game got out of control, he was missing passes that he should not be missing. Before the game got so crazy that people want to say it was officiating, where officials were actually surprisingly calling it right. I was fairly shocked that he was calling it right.
I think that there were some ticky-tacky calls that I like. If it were, I mean, like, I have an official bias, so I just hate officials. But I think that there were some ticky-tacky calls. I understand what you're saying, though. If you look at the definition of it and you look at the play, yeah, it probably would have matched up. I still think they were a little ticky-tacky. There was keep going. There was a comment in here that I wanted to talk about. Oh, well, another thing with Mahomes, and like another reason why I think that. Another reason why I would hesitate to sit here and say that he played bad, when you have 4 out of 5 offensive line starters out, dude, you like, there's not a lot you can do. But again, that goes into my point of, okay, we have 4 out of 5 guys out, which means our protection isn't going to be that great, which means we need to get the ball out quick, which means we need to go to our quick game, which they didn't do. That is why I'm so surprised about this. And yes, somebody said earlier in here, I think Pat's foot is more jacked than people think. Like, he did not look great. He definitely had a little cortisone shot, and he was like, all right, let's go play some football. But that's kind of my thing with Pat. I mean, I hesitate to say that he played poorly, because when you look at the surrounding circumstances of offensive line being banged up, not making adjustments coaching wise, like, those two things alone can crash a game plan, and that's exactly what happened today.
Listen, I'm not trying to be a downer here. All right? No,
dude, you're just it's completely okay
and listen,
your opinion.
As a person, you're right. I do look at it from a Lions standpoint, because I look at it and I say, if this was any other quarterback who went 26 for 49 for 270 with a 5.5 yard average, 2 interceptions and only 3 sacks, they would have took him to task. They would have took him to task.
If Brady would have done that, people would have lit him up.
Oh my God,
Pat's going to get lit up too. Like, I guarantee you, when we go Monday, Tuesday, all these guys are going to be like, oh, Pat Mahomes play. Like, for me, like, I look at this and I look at a quarterback stats, and if you're just looking at it on paper, you go, yeah, that's not great. But when you think about the context of it, and like I said, the not having the offensive lineman there, not making the coaching adjustments, those two things are going to kill a game plan, and that's exactly what happened, in my opinion, tonight.
I agree that the coaching failed them on every level. I think the coaches failed them on every level. I thought they I thought
which
they
was
should have.
so weird to me. I
Like,
mean, am I alone here? I'm shocked that they did not make adjustments.
no, I am not shocked that they didn't make it because I saw it in the first matchup, and I'm
Really?
telling you, yeah, when they first played them and the Bucks lost,
Yeah.
I was like, if the Bucks had a did this, and this, we win that game. They just had to do this, and this so late. And then I went to that game that they lost to the Raiders.
Yeah.
The Raiders. And I went through and I watched that game over and over. I watched it from just because I went to see, and that's when I was like, oh, they're not going to score 20 points.
Mm-hmm.
And because in those games,
so what were you seeing though? Like in that first Bucks game, were you just seeing like were the Chiefs because like when I would go through and watch the Bucks game, I was like, you know, when I saw it, it looked to me like the Bucks were sticking in man, and the Chiefs were like, okay, great, we're gonna stretch the field vertically, and we're gonna take advantage of it. And were the Chiefs just hitting them in that game, and in this game they weren't? Like maybe that's what was going on. But I'm interested to see what kind of tipped you off.
The first thing that jumped out to me was their defense.
Okay.
When I looked at Kansas City's defense in that game, it seemed like the focus was put on taking away the passing assets, versus just getting after Tom Brady, right? Because like, where the hell is Tom Brady running to? Like he's like he's not going anywhere.
Not exactly known for his scrambling ability,
right? So the first game they wasn't really attacking to get at him; they were just taking away his assets, and then the pressure would get home,
right?
And so that's the first thing I saw. Then the second thing I saw is in that game, for some reason, they were still passing when they should have been running. And I said, okay, so they're going to put this on what happened.
Focused on running the rock tonight, that's for sure.
Right. And so the thing that I think happened was, for me, I saw where this pattern carried over when Andy Reid was in Philly and when he first got to Kansas City, where whatever he did to beat the team the first time, he do very little to change from that.
That's a good point, man. That's a good
very
point.
little. I mean, he do very little.
It's really, really tough for a coach to sit there and look at a game plan and especially after a win, and be like, where did we go wrong with this? That's a really difficult thing to do.
Because for me, I just said to myself, like I know that the Bucks was supposed to be the number one run stopping defense. I get it, right? Like I know I don't want nobody to treat it like I'm just taking the. But I'm like, I watched that team. Like you can run on that team.
Yeah.
And to me, I just look at the team, even the teams that they were in dogfights with, those teams were able to run the ball and do it effectively. And so, like I said, you go through and you look at it, and I'm like, yo, you know, you're not winning the rushing battle. I think Andy Reid came into it, said, hey, we're not going to change too much because they're going to come out and do this and this and this. And by the time he looked up, it was 21-6. I mean, it wasn't like he can do a lot of adjusting at that point. You know what I mean? What is he going to adjust to at this point?
Yeah.
Right? So at this point, you're now one-dimensional. Right? And the Buccaneers are given the green light to just go. They're not running the ball.
No, 100. Like I agree. I agree, man. It was the Bucks put the Chiefs in a really difficult spot. They really did. And to be honest, like I look at that drive that the Bucks went up 14-3 on, and there was the offsides on the field goal. That's where you shoot yourself in the foot. There was a pick on that drive that shoots yourself in the foot. That was almost a game changer early in the game.
Yeah, and
you know,
and I'm one of the people that, to me, you can go all the way back to the beginning of the game and just look at it in writing, right? The drives in writing. So let's start off with the Kansas City Chiefs' first drive.
Yeah.
1st and 10, Patrick Mahomes pass short right to Pringle. Right? Yeah. 2nd and 7, pass incomplete short middle. 3rd and 7, Pat Mahomes scramble to the left for 11 yards. Watch this. 1st and 10, Pat Mahomes scrambles to the left for 2 yards.
Yeah, but once again, dude, like this to me comes back to the game plan. Honestly, it does.
And
like
that's the problem.
Yeah,
That's the problem.
to me,
That,
it was coaching more than anything that failed Kansas City tonight, and that shone through. And you're probably right, dude. You're probably right. Like honestly, like I said, it's tough to sit there as a coach and look at a game that you won and go, where can we improve in this? But to me, like I said, like to me, it was coaching tonight that really lost the Chiefs this game. I'm excited to dive into the film. I do want to hit on it. Stephon, Chiefs Kingdom will be okay. Hard to repeat, hard to win. Futures, dude, like the Chiefs aren't going anywhere, man. They'll be fine. They'll be fine.
No, I think they'll be just fine. I think the biggest thing that the Chiefs got to do, and I know that this is going to be hard for most fans, and I know they're not going to like this.
Stephon's taking this like a man, by the way. Mad respect, Stephon. It's tough for fans to do that.
True,
I know when I was a young buck and the Pats lost, I was super butthurt about everything. So anyway, Luke, carry on. My bad. Just want to give some props to a good fan.
No, you're good. I mean, the truth is this: they gotta listen. It's not just the Kansas City Chiefs. We as a fan base got to get away from mainstream media rhetoric. Wins and loss as a record. The quarterback wins the game. The reason I even started out with saying things I said about Mahomes is because most fans don't want to say this, but the reality is they put him in a position that really was not for success.
Yes,
your first drive, you basically did not run the ball on any of that first drive,
right?
And then you punt, like you punt the ball away. Now after you punt the ball away, you get the ball back again. Watch this on the second drive. Left end in and around for 5 yards. That's the first run. Clyde Edwards off the right guard for 5 yards. That's the second run. That's 2 runs for 5 yards. They get a first down. Back to the pass.
Go back to it. They really did.
And I did not understand it. I didn't understand this.
Chris, that's kind of what we're talking about. That's what I was talking. That was what I was really hitting on. Is a healthy offensive line changes this game a lot. It's going to be tough to convince me otherwise that if you have at least Eric Fisher and Mitchell Schwartz, that this game isn't different. If you have Mitchell Schwartz, Eric Fisher, and Kelechi Osemele, then I think we have a much, much tighter game. Much, much tighter.
I don't think so.
You don't think so? I see. No. I really think we do, because once again, like, you have that pass protection. Now you can really get working on feeling confident. Not only that, but your deep game stuff is going to start to open up. But I really think they do. But dude, we'll never know. But anyway, carry on with what you're saying. Sorry, I'm just comments.
No, you're good. It's your show, man. I'm just a guest.
Stay away from ESPN, everybody. Luke and I we agree on that.
Listen, I don't do the mainstream media narratives. I don't believe that quarterbacks wins and losses is a stat. That's not a damn stat.
No, Luke's not a fan of wins and losses.
It's a team stat. It's going to be a head coach stat, right? It's a team stat. I mean, right now I hear a lot of fans talking about, I got the Patriot way, don't work. Tom Brady won a ring. I said, Tom Brady left a team that was good for a team that was better with just as good coaching.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't buy into the narratives, but I'm pointing out why I don't think that even if they had the offensive alignment, it would have mattered. They never came into this game saying we're gonna impose our will and run the ball.
Yeah. And
to show you this, go back to the Eagles Super Bowl with Terrell Owens. Just run the damn ball.
Yeah.
just run the ball. Yeah. And to me, it's one of them things where if you're not willing to run the ball, you're willing to lose. Go and talk to the Bills. If the Bills ran the ball in that game against Kansas City's not in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. I don't know if I would agree with you on that.
Listen, the film tells me what I need to know. You and I are big film guys. We go back.
Oh yeah, big time.
We go back to film say. Right, one of the biggest issues when you look at I want to say like that game, I kept trying to figure out to myself, like, God, Kansas City know that they're not going to run the ball, and once again, I'm a big believer in this. Once you become one-dimensional, once you set yourself up like that,
a lot easier to beat.
It's way easier to beat. And so once I saw that, I said, okay, here's the problem. And when I looked at that game, I said, they got 24 points right? Which I find funny. But they got 24 points. And I said, look at they rushing.
Yeah.
Look at the rushing. 129. Most of that came from the quarterback.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you, man. All right, I'm gonna bounce because I think that film just got uploaded. You got any closing things? I'm pretty sure that
listen, honestly, listen, people, like seriously, try to look at the game a little bit outside the box. That's my biggest thing. I wanted to come on because I got tired of hearing about the refs. This was not a ref effective game that cost them the loss. There was other deciding factors, i.e., the head coach and offensive coordinator, play caller, and the defense couldn't stop a nosebleed. So just think outside the box when you guys are looking at this, because what you want to do is be able to identify what happened versus what commentators and people say on the TV. And I like to end everything on a positive note. So today's positive note is if you woke up today to enjoy this game, then be thankful. Don't look for nothing more. Don't ask for nothing else. Just be thankful. Thankful you took that breath.
Yeah.
But off to you, Cam. Appreciate you for letting me rock with you and come in and be a part of it.
Man. I just want to go live really
great.
quick. I never go live. I was thinking about going live more often, and I knew Chiefs fans are. I've been in that position as a Patriots fan where you're like, damn, my team just lost the Super Bowl. This really hurts. So I wanted to hop in, say what's up to everybody. So I can tell we got some, tempers are high. It's going to be okay, guys. We're a couple of days. We're going to be fine. But honestly, like the Chiefs are going to be like from a Chiefs perspective. Everything's going to be fine. Patrick Mahomes is still going to be Pat Mahomes. You still got two great coaches, and you got three great coaches in Spagnuolo. Honestly, it was not Kansas City's day at the end of the day. That's what it is. Carl, really appreciate you, dog, giving your props for that. These guys have been in here all night. Appreciate you guys. But yeah, man, it just wasn't Kansas City's day. Live to fight another one. That's all I got for you guys. Thanks for joining me. I'll have some stuff out this week for sure. If there's some people who are interested on that, going to do a couple of things for how the Bucs kind of won this one, and then I'll probably dive into some of what the Chiefs did wrong and what I would have done differently. So love you too, brother. Thanks for hopping in here. Stefan, you're a real one, dude. I can already tell. Chiefs Kingdom, man. I love you commenting on a lot of my stuff, by the way, Stefan. Appreciate you. Thanks for everybody for being in here. I've never ended a live stream before. I'm just like clicking on people and saying thank you. It's kind of fun. I'm just like thank you. Yeah. Appreciate you guys. But I'll be back soon. I might put out a poll soon to see if people want to have more live sessions. So anyway, guys, thanks for rolling through, and I'll see you next time.